hello and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of our journey through life in multiverse. I am Mona.
And I'm Chetna.
Mhm,
So, Monaji, I have to say that today's chapter, what we have spoken about, chapter 9, is
mhm,
one of the, I think people are most curious about the chapter
mhm.
it is.
Yeah, the chapter 9. We already did one episode, but this is the more elaborate one in more detail. The chapter 9. We can say the part 2 of chapter 9. And the title alone gives it away, extraterrestrial worlds
Um,
and civilizations in them.
Wow,
So
yeah.
it's wonderful. Yeah.
So it's about aliens, UFO, Mars, crop circle, pyramids, Area
Mm-hmm.
51,
Mm-hmm.
and then right at the end, something very deeply spiritual, what actually happens to the soul after death.
Hmm. So it is a huge chapter. So we are giving it a whole episode to itself. We will start with the big question: are we alone? And we will end somewhere you would not expect, the journey of the soul through the higher dimensions. Yes.
Right.
So,
So it's a evening time, so grab your tea or coffee and settle it and let's begin.
yeah, yes. So, do aliens actually exist?
Yeah, so Monaji, let's open the question like with humanity has asked forever, is
Mhm.
there intelligent life beyond Earth? Are we
Hmm.
alone?
Hmm. So, Chetnaji, scientists have been digging into this for decades. And this book, Life in Multiverse, makes an honest point. With our current laws of physics, chemistry, and biology, the existence of extraterrestrial life can only be vaguely assumed. It has not been firmly proven yet. Yes.
And the book raises the sharp question too that
Mm,
if has been done, why aren't the facts presented openly to the world?
yeah. But there have been official cracks in the silence. The American Defense Ministry actually released three UFO videos on an official basis.
Uh-huh.
They were recorded by a Navy pilot in November 2004 and January 2015. And the pilot called it a classic case of UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Wow.
Yes. Hmm.
And then came the statement that the made global headlines around 2020 and 21. The former Israeli space security chief,
Mhm.
uh, Haim Eshed,
Mhm.
stated that categorically that alien exist.
Hmm. And he went actually much further. He claimed America and Israel are in communication with the aliens, that there is a secret galactic federation, and even that there is an underground base deep on Mars where American astronauts and alien representatives work side by side. Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. He also said that US President at that time, Donald Trump, was aware that and on the verge of revealing it, but the aliens asked him not to, to prevent the mass
Mhm.
hysteria.
Hysteria. Yeah, hysteria. And the reason is very fascinating. The aliens will not come forward until humanity evolves enough to actually
Yes,
understand and handle the truth about them.
so true.
Hmm.
So that's the science and official circling the question. But the heart of this chapter, what Bapuji reveals through Behed Gyan, and he says it without hesitation yes, extraterrestrial life is real.
Hmm. So let's go where he begins, our neighbor in the solar system, Mars.
Right.
So Mars is the fourth planet from the sun, and in Hindu Shastras, in Hindu scriptures, we call it Mangal. So
Mhm.
Mars is described as the son of Mother Earth, and Bapuji clearly states there is life on Mars.
Yeah, but not life as it is now, right?
Mhm.
He's talking about the civilization in the past.
Yes, yeah. So he's talking about the past.
Yes.
He is saying that around 8,000 years ago, there was a thriving civilization on Mars, very
Mhm.
similar to Earth. But the Martians had bodies made of lighter elements, very little water element, very little earth element. It was a beautiful civilized world, almost
Wow.
like golden age here. The souls had a lot of soul power, high technology, even high speed flying vehicles. Yes.
So what destroyed it?
Alien souls from another world invaded Mars. And just
I
like
see.
we have religious wars on Earth, there was a
Yeah.
war between good and evil there. A nuclear war broke out. It caused massive earthquakes, formed craters, and life on the surface stopped existing. Yeah.
Oh my God. So were there any survivors?
Some went underground to survive.
Mhm.
Some escaped to other planets, and some came down here to the Earth. But here is the heartbreaking part. The moment they entered Earth's five elemental atmosphere, their light bodies became dense and heavy, and they
Yeah,
completely forgot their origins.
right.
Mm.
And Bapuji says that Mars is still inhabited
Mhm.
by subtle world souls,
Mm.
which we
Mm.
can't see with three. They are like in three elemental bodies, and
Yes.
science actually supports a piece of this. Like
Mm.
they found a water beneath the surface of Mars, not on top.
Yes. Which fits perfectly with the idea that life retreated underground.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then there is a Boriska,
Mhm.
like one the most remarkable stories in the whole book.
Hmm. A Russian boy born in 1996 who claimed he was the once an inhabitant of Mars. As a young child at his school, he spoke about the planets of our solar system and such precise details that
Mhm.
scientists were astonished. They said it is simply not possible to know so much at that age.
This age,
Yeah.
yeah. So he said that Martians were about 7 feet tall, and
Mm.
they lived underground, and they beneath the carbon dioxide. They
They
breathed the
breathed, yeah,
they
yeah,
breathed
they
the
took.
carbon dioxide, and he made stunning claim that the Mars is directly connected to the mystery of the Egyptian pyramids,
Mm.
and those secrets will be revealed at the right time.
Yeah.
So
So
interesting.
hold on to that pyramid connection. We will come back later in the episode.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
So, in this chapter, Babuji also talked about the indigo children, the star children. So, this
Mhm.
leads a beautifully into another idea, Monaji, about indigo children and star children. What are these children? What Bapuji has talked
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah. So these are very special souls. Bapuji explains they come from different alien civilizations, and their whole purpose is being born on Earth is to help, to
Hmm.
advance knowledge, science, and technology, and to bring harmony to the world.
Wow. And
Hmm.
Boriska himself said that the souls who have came from the Mars
Mhm.
and incarnated here are known as indigo children.
Yes, so true. They are ordinarily intelligent.
Intelligent, yeah.
They grasp things instantly from childhood. And some even have like psychic abilities. Star children, specifically, are souls who have come from other solar systems. And within about 60 to 90 days of arriving, they enter directly into a human womb.
Oh my God.
Yes,
So
yes,
really,
yeah.
And these are powerful souls. No
Mhm,
negativity can harm them.
mhm,
They are these are there are even a striking detail in the book. In 1982, China launched a program to find the star children
mhm.
and reportedly discovered the one lake, a hundred
100,000
thousand,
children.
one lake or 100,000 children with the extraordinary qualities.
Wow. And the way these souls travel is very beautiful. They do not just appear here. They
Yeah,
first turn into tiny incorporeal points of light, gather together, form a kind of power sheet, and travel as
mhm.
a group.
Wow. So walk
Hmm.
us through that route because it follows a dimension leader to the whole book.
Yes, yeah. So when they enter our solar system, they first arrive in the incorporeal world. We can call
Hmm.
the supreme abode. In
Right.
Hindi, we call Paramdham.
Yes.
Then they descend to another dimension, which is
Actually.
where they take a subtle form, which is called Shivpuri. And then from Shivpuri to Vishnupuri, then down through the seven lokas, the seven dimensions above the earth. They actually observe earth from these higher dimensions. And
Hmm.
then, of their own free will, they choose to incarnate. Their very DNA is different from the rest of the humanity.
I see. And
Mm.
there is this profound idea about how powerful souls incarnate.
Yes. So sometimes a powerful soul from a higher dimension doesn't come down fully. Instead, it places just a cell, a
Hmm.
tiny fragment of its soul power into a human body. And then
Okay.
it guides that body from the higher dimension.
Yeah, just like the satellite sending the signals down to Earth.
Yes, yes, yeah. So that is exactly the analogy this book uses. Two souls in two different dimensions, connected by subtle vibrations through a single cell. It
Hmm.
is how the avatars, the incarnations, Brahma, Vishnu accomplish their divine mission on the earth. So,
That's nice.
yeah. So, two souls in two different dimensions connected by subtle vibrations through a single cell. Hmm.
Sounds amazing.
Yes.
So we are moving to the next segment of the book is life on the sun, moon and other planets.
Hmm.
So this next part genuinely expanded my mind about we are not just talking about the Mars. Bapuji says there are life on the suns, on Jupiter and on Venus too.
Mm. Oh, okay. And he grounds it in a line from the, Yajurveda, the spiritual scripture,
Scriptures.
Yeah. Yatha pinde tatha brahmande, yatha brahmande tatha pinde. As is the meaning is as is the individual, so is the cosmos. As is the
Hmm.
cosmos, so is the
So it's the
individual. Yes.
individual.
Yeah.
Like microsomes and macrosomes.
Yes, yeah. So, right. The Pinda is the microcosm, the body, and Brahmand is the macro, the cosmos. So, whatever elements exist in the body, the same exist in the whole solar system, we can say, and vice versa. So, if
Right.
life and elements exist in us, they exist out there too.
Mhm.
Mm,
And every planet has its preceding soul. The
mhm,
moon was created by Chandradev,
mm,
Jupiter by the wise soul of Brihaspati, the
mm,
guru of deities. In the scriptures we found it, and the souls there are made of primarily of the air element.
mm. So we can, excuse me, just sorry about it.
No
Mhm.
problem.
Mhm.
So Brihaspati is
Yeah, you can start. Yeah, go ahead.
right. So Jupiter is the one which is created by the soul consciousness. It's a soul who created Jupiter,
Mhm. Mhm.
and Venus by the Shukracharya, the guru of demons.
Mm-hmm.
who lives there with his family, and the sun is governed by
Hmm.
the Surya Dev, Surya
Hmm. Hmm.
Narayan,
So
and the
these
soul.
were actually, yeah, the deities, right? The
Yes,
high power souls. Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
So the
Yes.
souls who live on the sun have radiant bodies and made of ether and fire element. So the
Hmm.
intense heat doesn't harm them at all. So they live inside the sun, and
Hmm.
they can even travel to the very core of the sun. And
Wow.
then there is the Apollo 11 mystery,
Hmm.
which I find genuinely eerie.
Hmm. So, July 20th, 1969, the moon landing, broadcast live to millions. And during the live conversation, something happened. And NASA reportedly cut the live TV feed for 2 minutes. So, what
Oh.
exactly? Yeah.
So 2 minutes that have never been fully explained.
Hmm.
And then the future missions, Apollo 18, 19, and 20, were cancelled and postponed.
Yeah. So, Bapuji, with his divine vision, saw what happened. At the time Apollo 11 landed, there was also a vehicle from Saturn that had arrived on the moon. And the subtle souls living on the moon drove both away, the one from Earth and the one from the Saturn.
Right. And because there are rules, just like we need a visa to travel between countries,
Mhm.
the subtle world has a rule about visitors from other planets.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
for the
yes.
people who are not aware, we are taking the chapters from the book Life and Multiverse. This is
Mm,
written by Bapuji Dashrath Bhai Patel,
mm,
and definitely we are referencing reading it because it's not coming from us. It's coming
yes.
from
Yes.
his knowledge, and we are trying to share it here
Yes.
to
Yes.
everyone.
Yes. Yeah. Though Bapuji says even it is changing now, agreements are being made between worlds so they can visit one another. There is so much happening in the subtle world, and NASA simply doesn't share, you know.
Mhm.
Mm.
Right. So now moving to the next segment in the chapter 9. The segment is about radio waves and the UFOs. So let's talk about those mystery signals from
Mm.
space, the radio waves.
Hmm. So in 2015, Russian astronomers, using the Raten 600 telescope, as part of this, his survey detected a very fascinating signal. It seemed to originate from a star system which is called HD 164595. So
Mhm.
about 94 light years away
Wow,
in the constellation Hercules, a system known to have at least one planet.
right. And that's
Amazing.
roughly around 889,334 billion kilometers. The
Hmm.
mind can't even hold that number.
So people wondered, is this an intelligent civilization? But the evidence was later, denied in the media. And the book makes a very deeper point. Even when we receive these signals, our science cannot decode them.
Right. And
Mm,
because the subtle world doesn't communicate the way we do, their
mm.
language is telepathic in nature and
Yes.
completely different from the anything on the earth.
Yeah. And there is this sobering example. If we send a radio signal to a planet 2000 light years away, it takes 2000 years just to arrive. And if they reply back, another 2000 years for the answer to reach us. How far they are. Yes.
Mhm. So a 4,000 years conversation. So much for instant messaging, which
Yes.
brings us to the UFO. And this is where the ancient text came alive.
Hmm. Hmm. So, in the ancient Sanskrit scripture on the science of aeronautics, Vaimanika
Valmiki.
Shastra, yeah.
Valmiki.
It's, yeah. Its existence was revealed in 1952 by G.R. Joser. It had been dictated by, we can say, Subarya Shastri, Pandit Subarya Shastri between 1918 and 1923. And he said the sage Bhardwaja gave him the knowledge cyclic, psychologically. It contains like 3,000 shlokas across 8 chapters and describes flying vehicles used by gods and goddesses going back to around 4000 BC.
Wow.
Mm.
And we know these vehicles from Puranas.
Hmm.
The god Vimana
Mm-hmm.
and used by the Lord Vishnu.
Mm-hmm.
And Hans Vimana is the swan used by the Lord Brahma. And the
Mm.
peacock Vimana is used by the Bhagwan Kartikeya. And of
Mm.
course, everybody knows about it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chetna ji. You can keep on reading.
Yeah, everybody knows about the Ravana's Pushpak Viman, which is very,
Mm.
everybody knows about it.
Mm.
Swiftest, the swiftest of all, and made by the air element. It moved
Mm.
at the speed of thought. This is of
Mm.
Ravana Pushpak Viman.
Mm.
Viman is like a UFO. So
Mm.
Ravana could go anywhere within the three word in an instant,
Mm.
and even shrink or expand the vehicle
Mm.
depending on how many passengers he wants to carry.
Wow.
So how do UFO actually work according to Bapuji?
Yeah, this is the key idea. UFOs are made of supreme elements. That's
Mhm,
why we cannot capture them on radar because radar is made of physical elements
mhm.
and you had need a device made of supreme elements to detect them.
Right.
Hmm.
So there is a beautiful symmetry. The being operating UFO has a body made of same elements as the UFO itself.
Hmm. So exactly. If a UFO is 80% subtle elements and 20% supreme elements, the traveler inside has that same composition.
I
And
see.
the more supreme element in the vehicle, the greater its speed. The fastest ones, made of Paramprakash, we can call supreme light, that exceed the speed of light. And they run on the principle of the speed of thought. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
So
why
a
their speed
single
is so. Hmm.
hmm. So a single powerful sankalp, or we can say one affirmation,
Yeah.
and the soul reaches its destination in a trillionth of second,
Hmm. Yeah.
trillionth of a second actually.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
a more powerful the soul, the more powerful the soul, the more powerful the affirmation.
Yes. And here's why we sometimes do see them when a UFO comes within about 200 kilometer of Earth. Our atmosphere affects it. The supreme elements convert into gross air, then gross fire, and suddenly we see a bright, fairy object in the sky. The moment it speeds up again, the elements convert back and it vanishes in an instant. That's why sometimes we just see the flash of light and where did it go? So that's what happens.
So people capture the images, try to
Yes,
capture the
yes,
images.
yes,
So
yes,
that's why UFO sightings are always been this fleeting, glowing flashes, and that brief window is the only time one can even photograph or caught on a radar.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
So another segment, Bapuji talked about the crop circles.
Mhm.
So Monaji, overnight in a field, a massive, perfect geometric design appears,
Yes,
and no one ever sees it being made.
yes. So Bapuji explains they are created by higher dimensional souls. We can call again aliens, if you like,
Hmm.
using sophisticated, subtle instruments and rays that can carve a giant pattern in a moment. Hmm.
and each one carries a specific message. The book gives the example of the triple Julia set crop circle that appeared in the Wiltshire, UK in 1996, based
Hmm.
on the mathematical equation developed by the Gaston Julia Beck in 1918. Three
Hmm.
intervened fractals, mathematically even very complex.
And the idea is that when a human or another being views the design, the message passes directly into their subconscious mind.
Hmm.
The data gets downloaded, and through these patterns, the aliens want to inform us about the upcoming future world.
Wow.
Hmm.
But the most stunning one is the Sri Yantra crop circle.
Yeah. The Shri Yantra, the sacred instrument, nine interlocking triangles radiating out from a central point.
Right.
A point, the junction between the physical solar system and its unmanifest source. On August 10th, 1990, a pilot named Bill Miller, flying with the Idaho Air National Guard over a dried up, lake bed in Oregon, spotted a giant etching of it.
Yeah, and the detail that gets me, like just half an hour earlier on his previous pass,
Mhm.
there was nothing there and no other pilot who
Hmm.
regularly trained over the corridor had
Mhm.
been anything.
Hmm. Yeah. So it was a quarter of a mile wide, carved like 4 inches deep into the bedrock, oriented precisely north south with machine like precision.
Wow.
Experts said you had need extremely precise drilling machines that science doesn't even possess. And
Wow.
just the land survey alone would have cost 75 to $100,000 at the time.
Okay. So
Hmm.
on a rigid leg bite overnight, it's simply not something humans could have done. Even the
Yes.
perfect angles of the lotus petals
Hmm.
could be impossible.
So Bapuji's conclusion is clear. These are made by divine souls with bodies and instruments of supreme elements to prove their existence and send
Existence.
us a message.
Yeah.
Hmm. Beautiful. Yeah.
So Bapuji also covered up some part of the abductions and Area 51
Mhm.
in the chapter 9 itself. So
Mhm.
let's tackle that darker mysteries, alien abductions, humans, and even cattles.
So Bapuji explains the cow, especially, in Sanatan Dharma, in Hindu religion, we can say the original religion, the cow
Yeah.
is revered as a mother, being
Hmm.
very respected. And the Kamdhenu, the fulfiller of all wishes. So they actually pay so much respect to a cow. Aliens abduct cows temporarily or take a part to study and research that divine quality. That's why the abduction of cows has been mentioned. Yeah.
And what about humans?
Yeah. The main purpose is to study and refine human DNA,
Mhm.
especially of those humans whose ancestors came from higher dimensions
I
long
see.
ago and
Hmm.
whose creations are now trapped here in human form. The aliens want to enhance the DNA, make people more resilient against diseases, boost their immunity, and this book's striking line is basically the aliens want to help mankind.
And the books also mentioned about the old accounts of gods coming to the earth and marrying earthly women, like in the scriptures it is mentioned, to create the best version of the godly and human combined.
Yes, yeah. Which connects naturally to Area 51. We will talk. Yeah.
Okay. So, a
Hmm.
secret US Air Force base at the Groom Lake, southern Nevada,
Mhm.
about 83 miles northwest of Las Vegas.
Mhm.
It's at the focus of the countless UFO incidents.
Hmm. So officially, it is a flight testing facility, but alien
Okay.
researchers believe the remains of crashed UFOs are stored there. And scientists reverse engineer the advanced technology tied to the famous Roswell crash of July 1947 in New Mexico. And even the testimony of a retired army colonel. So,
And there are reports of the UFOs over British and American nuclear missile sites and
mhm.
temporarily deactivated them.
Hmm. Because Bapuji says the aliens do not want another nuclear war. A
Hmm.
nuclear blast doesn't just harm Earth, it has a serious negative impact on the entire creation. And he confirms the claims about Area 51 are true. Many governments have evidence of aliens and UFOs, but they keep it secret from the public.
Wow.
Hmm.
So now the pyramids. This
The
is one of the
secrets of the
favorite section.
yes, yes, yeah. So think about it, Chetnaji. Pyramids appear all over the world, right? Egypt,
Yes,
Italy,
right.
Sudan, China, Indonesia, South America, with strikingly similar structures at a time when there was no communication or travel between these places.
Hmm. So and the Giza
Mm.
pyramids,
Mhm.
2.3 million stones, weighing between 2,700 and 17,000 kilograms.
Yes.
Even our modern cranes max out around 20,000 kg.
Mhm.
How did ancient people stack them so perfectly that not a single strand of hair can slip between them?
Yes, yes.
Shockproof, earthquake-proof, flawless.
Wow. Yeah. So Bapuji's answer reframes everything. The pyramids and the grand temples were first built in the subtle dimension, in
Uh-huh.
different dimension, out of supreme elements by the
Mhm.
power of thought.
Right.
Hmm.
And he gives the most beautiful example, the golden city of Dwarka.
Yeah. Yes. When the Lord Krishna wanted to move his people away from the city Mathura because of the evil king kept attacking him 17 times.
Jarasandh.
Yeah. So he asked Vishwakarma, this divine architect of the subtle world, to build a city by a single thought, a powerful thought. And this Vishwakarma first created the image of Dwarka, that city, in his mind, and
Wow.
then manifested it out of the supreme elements: supreme air, supreme ether, and supreme fire.
Yeah.
So it
And
was,
Krish
yes, made up of supreme elements first, and then it just came down to gross elements, physical
gross
elements, we can
elements.
say. Yeah.
And Krishna prayed to Sagar Devta, means the sea, father of sea,
Yeah.
the sea
Deity.
deity,
Mm-hmm.
who was pleased and gave him 12 yojanas of sea length,
Mm-hmm.
about 773 square kilometers, to build the city
Yeah.
in the
And
sea.
it, yeah, and it glowed with a golden aura because it was made of supreme elements,
Supreme
you know.
elements.
So it
Mhm.
was, it had so much of like gold, you know,
Yeah,
the whole building made up of gold. But over many years, those supreme elements gradually declined into three
right.
subtle elements and finally into the gross physical stone we recognize, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's the same with the pyramids.
Hmm.
First subtle, then gross, over the passage of ages.
Yeah. And they were not just monuments, you know, they were like energy centers.
Mhm.
The ether element was channeled into the center of the pyramid, recharging the human soul inside with thousands of times more power. So
Wow.
people meditated there collectively, used specific sounds and
Sounds.
mantras, and could communicate with the souls of the higher dimensions.
Yes. So they even harnessed electricity using the Earth's gravity and used the pyramids to send radio signals to the subtle world.
Yes. And because UFOs were common in those times, the pyramids served as signaling towers and landing bases for the flying vehicles of the gods and goddesses. There are even images and etchings, the prints of the UFOs and spaceships inside many of the pyramids. So many secrets are still enclosed within pyramids.
Wow.
Yeah.
So next, Bapuji has shared some knowledge around Kailash Temple at Ellora. So
Hmm.
before we leave the great structure, the Kailash Temple,
Mhm.
what Bapuji has talked
Hmm.
about.
So in the Aurangabad, in Maharashtra, we can say the state of India, one of the largest rock cut temple complexes in the world. 34 caves with the magnificent Kailash temple in the 16th century. The artwork dates from around 600 to 1000 AD.
Wow. And here
Mm.
is the impossible part. It was carved out of the single large rock,
Hmm.
starting from the top and working downwards.
Yeah, which is completely backwards from how anyone, sculpts the rock. Normally, you start from the bottom, the foundation, and move up. Here, they started at the top. So that
Yeah.
raises the question, who did it? Yeah.
And Bapuji says that the Kailash temple dedicated to Lord Shiva is
Mhm.
approximately 25,000 year old.
Yeah.
25,000 before
Yeah.
Krishna.
Yeah. To build it, 400,000 tons of rock were cut out
Wow.
from the center. And here is the mystery: the debris, the cut rock, cannot be found even miles away from the temple.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, read, Chetna ji.
How did they carve from the top?
Hmm.
Without heavy cranes, how did they remove all that rock? It's
Yeah.
even said there is an underground city beneath it.
Huh.
And when the Mughal ruler Aurangzeb
Hmm.
sent about 1,000 men in 1682 to destroy it, they worked continuously for 3 years and
Hmm.
barely managed any damage. This is
Hmm.
so fascinating information.
Yes, yes, so true. So true. And
So-
is it becoming too long, Chetna ji? You want to make another episode on it, or should we continue?
Oh, yes. I think there are two more segments left.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, when the Mughal emperor, did you read this?
Yes,
Yeah. So
last part.
when he realized that he couldn't destroy it, he gave up. And the conclusion writes itself: the civilization that built the Kailash temple was far more advanced than we are today. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
So here is a thought about the genuinely shift how you see the history. The
Mhm.
Monaji Bapuji also says that the great scientists like Ramanujan,
Mm.
Einstein, Nikola
Mm.
Tesla,
Mm.
Stephen Hawking were alien souls.
Mm. Mhm. Powerful souls from distant galaxies and universes, born here to do the good work for the advancement of
Mhm.
humanity. And I'm keep losing my.
But the moment they are born, Earth's five element atmosphere makes them forget their knowledge. So it takes an immense effort for them to bring through their innovations. And their
Mm.
soul group helps them.
Mm. Yeah. So, Stephen Hawking, almost completely paralyzed by a rare disease, with a life expectancy that should have been just a few years, yet
Mhm.
his mind worked brilliantly, transmitting his thoughts to a machine that turned them into speech. So Bapuji says this was possible only because of the enormous help of the alien souls he was connected to.
Right.
Hmm.
In the classic example, the book says about a scientist whose research was fully supported by their alien group souls in that higher dimensions.
Hmm. Mhm. Yeah. So,
So, the next segment, Bapuji also talked about the laws of the spirit world.
yeah. And now the chapter takes a profound turn from the cosmos out there to the journey within, the laws of the spirit world. What
Yeah,
happens after death?
yeah, the big question to end on.
Hmm. Like Sanatan Dharma, the original, religion teaches that the soul is immortal, eternal, indestructible, and after death, a soul takes on a three elemental subtle body and moves on according to its state of consciousness. But many souls, out of attachment to the family, home, simply stay, roaming around the places and people they loved.
Wow. And getting
Hmm.
reborn isn't easy, anyone, right?
Yes, yeah. Far from it, the number of souls waiting to take birth is far greater than the number of available bodies. So most souls they just wander around. Yeah.
Hmm. And there is a difference depending on the knowledge. So
Mm.
souls who follow some knowledge like Sanatan Dharma scriptures they have read know about the higher dimensions like
Mm.
Brahmapuri, Vishnupuri, Shivpuri, Param Dham. We have spoken about this in previous chapter of this book. So they
Yes.
continue their spiritual efforts even after that.
Mm.
Whereas the book notes that the souls of some other faith who don't believe in rebirth may wait their graveyards like graves for the judgment day.
Yeah, for the judgment day. Bapuji also gently corrects the famous weight of the soul idea.
Wow.
The
Mhm.
belief that the body becomes lighter by about 65 grams at death. He says the soul is weightless. What little weight there is, maybe 20 to 25 grams, comes from the subtle elements, the energy in the living state, not the soul itself. So, soul itself is weightless. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way up is all about the lightness, isn't it?
Yeah, so true. Uh, Sorry about it. So the more desires a soul carries, the heavier its air element becomes. And the more Earth's gravity pulls it down, but desirelessness, what the book calls is, we can say, nashto moha, without any attachment, makes the soul light, increases the ether element, and lets
Yeah.
it rise to the higher dimension, free of gravity pull.
And this is where the souls turn into the spiritual practice,
Mhm.
meditating on a Shiv Shakti gathering in a subtle layers of the
Mhm.
Himalayas and
Mhm.
places like a Mansarovar to gain the soul power.
Soul power, yeah. So there is also a huge cosmic shift Bapuji describes. In the old days, there was a whole system of justice.
Mhm.
Some people say Yamraj, the Lord of the Death, who kept the record of every soul's karma. And some souls, they just come Yamdoots, each soul was judged, assigned its
Yes,
place, given the time and location of its next birth.
right. And that system has stopped now.
that system has stopped for roughly the last 100 years because the god
Oh,
and goddesses themselves have fallen and become human beings on the earth, and their soul power has declined so much. So now what determines your next life is simply the spiritual knowledge you gathered while you are alive.
right. And there is that powerful, sobering detail.
Mhm.
Your very last thought at that moment of the death shapes your next birth.
Yes, yeah. So the very last thought at the moment of the death shapes your next birth. Yes. In your final breath, you remember your whatever, your pet, your dog, your cat, because of attachment. And you may be born as that. You can take that
In
form
that,
in next. Yeah.
yeah,
Your destiny is shaped by the thought generated in your last breath. It is profound call to live consciously. I mean, it's
right,
it's like wherever your attachment is going, so you just shape your next future. But
right. The energy absorb that.
yes, yes, yeah.
So, Bapuji also talked about in the same chapter that the soul's journey back to home.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
the and the journey of the soul back to its creator.
Hmm. So there is a beautiful rule here. A soul can only rise as far as the dimension from which
Hmm.
it originated. Every soul can return to its creator, and upon reaching that dimension, it can merge back either into the creator from whom it was once separated. Yeah.
Yeah. And so a soul with a power of say like 15 celestial degree or 20 kala, 15 to 20 kala can rise up the universe because it was created by the honor of the universe.
Yes. Yeah. And to make that journey, a soul must be in its pure, incorporeal form, in the subtle state. It carries too many layers. Only when it becomes incorporeal, free of all the karmic bonds, it can truly reach its creator.
Wow. So, and
Mm.
the book distinguishes two beautiful states.
Mm.
Most of the people talk about it in uh, it's about mukti and jivan mukti,
Hmm. So,
liberation.
so mukti or liberation is when a soul dissolves completely into the power of its creator. Its separate existence ceases. And Jivan Mukti, we can say liberation in life is when the soul continues to exist in its divine incorporeal form with its creator, but completely free of all bondages. That
Wow,
is the supremely divine state. The book calls Sat Chit Anand, we can say supreme bliss.
so wonderful.
Mm.
And most souls, once they receive the knowledge of the Jivan Mukti, chooses that a liberated life of bliss, forming groups, traveling through the dimension to dimension with their own free will.
Yeah. So there is also a stunning detail about the 33 Koti Devi Devtas, we can say 330 million deity souls, created in the great, great universe from supreme light with a power of 2 celestial degree. Their power declined as they journeyed down to the
Into
earth.
the earth.
But when they hear the supreme knowledge, they understand it instantly.
Yeah. And finally, the deepest teaching of this chapter is light is Shiv and might is Shakti.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah. When we call light and might, light is the main power and might is the
Might is
Shakti.
the Shakti.
Yeah. So the purest form of a soul is called the light, that is Shiv, and the radiating power surrounding it is called the might, that is Shakti.
Shakti.
And it holds the entire record of the soul. And just as the sun and its rays can never be separated, light and might are inseparable.
Wow.
Mm.
So, Manaji, after all of that, Mars, UFO, pyramid, scientist, the soul, what's the one thread tying it together?
Mhm. For me, it is this: we are not alone.
Yes.
And we are not random. Life is everywhere on Mars, on Sun, in the souls who built the pyramids and inspired our greatest minds. And the chapter ends by showing us why it matters because we came from somewhere. We have a
Mhm.
creator and we have a way back home through soul consciousness, spiritual knowledge, and letting go of desires.
Wow.
Hmm.
So from that, are aliens real to how does my soul find it way back to God?
Mhm.
That's the quite a journey of this one chapter.
Yeah. As Bapuji reminds us, there are many videos on these topics on his official YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Bapuji Dashat Bhai Patel, for anyone who wants to go deeper.
And do read this chapter 9 itself, the Life and Multiverse book. There is so much more details
Mhm.
than we could ever fit into this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you all for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
much, yeah, for joining us. And we will come back with next chapter and
Yes.
wonderful knowledge about.
Information. Yes.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Supreme
Param
peace. Param
Shanti.
Shanti.